I'm going to reveal the best tips and methods on how to grind candies fast in the MM2 Halloween update that will guarantee you get all the rewards as fast as possible, coming from someone who just got a leaderboard trophy from the summer event. I'm going to share the secrets that the top leaderboard players use to grind candies as efficiently as possible that not many people are talking about, so watch to the end so you don't miss out. My first tip is to join small servers. I know, you've probably heard this before, but as the video progresses, the more and more tips will surprise you. Now, on to small servers. Why do small servers provide an advantage, you may ask? The reason is that there's simply just less players to steal your candies. To join a small server, scroll down to the public server section under Murder Mystery 2. Then once you see it, set the drop down from descending to ascending. But don't join the very first couple of servers you see. Instead, scroll down a bit and join the servers that have like 3 or 4 players, because Roblox prioritizes the servers with 1 or 2 players so they fill up much faster. But the servers with 3 to 4 players in them are the sweet spot. Another bonus for being in a small server is that the less people they are, the higher the chance you have to get the murderer role to use a speed perk, which brings me on to my next tip. My next tip is that when you are the murderer, equip haste perk if you own it. I recommend haste perk because there's no cooldown, just constant speed, allowing you to grind candies faster than everybody else. But you do need to hold your knife out to activate haste, so it's better to do this when you're in a farming server so the sheriff doesn't just shoot you the moment they see you with your knife out. Another alternative to the haste perk is the sprint perk. Use this if you don't own the haste perk but own sprint. Or another reason you can use this is if you're not in a farming server, because you do not need to hold out to activate this, so you won't risk being shot. However, there is a cooldown, but sprint is perfect for collecting large chunks of candies in a short amount of time. My next tip is to vote for small maps. It is a common misconception that the bigger the map, the better, because there are more candy spawning locations. That is a myth. In smaller maps, the candies spawn closer and faster. You actually want to avoid large maps such as mill base, biolab, hotel, and factory. The maps that you want to vote for are hospital, office, house, mansion, and bank. Those maps will get you a full bag much faster than the large maps. Also, the maps that are not mentioned are simply not bad or good, simply the middle of the pack. You might think this is not worth it or doesn't make much of a difference, but believe me, as a leaderboard player, it makes a significant difference, especially when this is done over a long period of time. Another useful tactic to use if you're not already is to be constantly rotating around the map. You have to constantly be moving. You might think this is common sense, but I see a shockingly amount of people just standing in one place waiting for the candies to spawn. You can collect candies much faster if instead of sitting in one spot, you run around the map in circles collecting candies to save time, because by the time you get back to your original spot, the candies would have respawned by then, allowing you to get a full bag in no time. Another suggestion I have is to buy the Elite Game Pass. Many of you already own it, but if you don't, just buy it, okay? I highly recommend buying it because it increases your bag storage by 10. You go from getting a full bag of 40 to 50. Even though, it's 10, it's a 10 amount of difference. Over time, this adds up to make a significant difference if you don't own this already. This is an even better investment if you already plan on spending Robux on candies, because I guarantee you the 500 Robux that Elite Game Pass costs that you would have spent candies will pay for itself in no time. Now I'm going to share some tips you need to use depending on what role you get. If you are the murderer, my tip is to simply not kill anybody until you get a full bag, because if you do, you risk being shot by the sheriff and the round being over before you get a full bag. Another useful tactic with the murderer role is to reset as soon as you're full. If you reset as soon as you're full, then the round ends immediately, which dramatically speeds up your grinding pace. If you are the sheriff, simply do not shoot the murderer until you have a full bag, because that also ends the round. Of course, if you're in a certain scenario, then by all means shoot the murderer. The sheriff tip only applies when you spot the murderer from a distance and you make the business decision just to grind candies instead of shooting him and ending the round. Now, if you're innocent, just like if you were the murderer, reset as soon as you have a full bag. When farming candies, the goal is to get a full bag as fast as possible and then make the round end as fast as possible. If you are innocent and after you're full, all you do is run away from the murderer and drag the time out, then all you're doing is slowing down your grinding pace. It may seem insignificant in that moment, but over time it adds up. Another tip that you need to use if you can is to bring alts in your server. The more players in your server, the higher the spawn rate of candies is in every round. So having AFK alts in your server that are acting as players who boost the spawn rate but don't actually steal your candies helps a lot. I can guarantee you every single leaderboard player, including myself, uses alts to help us get an edge over the majority of casual players. To use alts, just get all of your devices, whether it be a phone, laptop, tablet, and join your main account from those alts. Just remember to tap the screen or just move the character every 20 minutes so they don't disconnect. And if one of your alts gets the murderer, reset on that account once you're full on your main to save time. My next tip is the reason why many people do not complete the event. It's not grinding tactics, it's not time, but it's having a lack of motivation and giving up halfway. The truth is, no matter how fast you can grind candies, it is still going to take a big time commitment to finish this event, especially if you're grinding for the whole pass, including the ray gun. This will make MM2 slowly but surely become a bit boring, and it will make it easy for you to give up, since most people, including myself, have a lack of motivation when grinding candies for a long period of time. I have a few tips to help you stay motivated. One of them is grinding with friends. It doesn't just make the grind more enjoyable, but you can also all agree to just not kill each other and reset when everyone is full, which makes the grinding pace exponentially faster. Other tips that help me stay focused are listening to a podcast, a music playlist, or watching YouTube videos just like this. Also, make sure you're always drinking water, and maybe even an energy drink can help you put in more time if you're staying up late. This next tip is crucial if you're serious about placing on an MM2 leaderboard anytime in the future, and that is to use a cover. What are covers, you might ask? Covers are people who grind candies on your account while you are offline. Unfortunately, no matter how late you stay up, humans need to sleep. Let me let you in on a little secret. You will have to go to sleep, but the leaderboard never sleeps. Every hour, depending on how competitive that specific leaderboard is, the top 100 moves up about 1,000 candies per hour. This means that if you go to sleep, then you will fall back a lot if you do not have a cover grinding for you during that time. If you're going for any spot on the top 100, then you will need, or you and your cover combined will need to put in at least 16 hours a day, at least. If you do not have experience soloing a leaderboard, then I do not recommend trying to on your first serious attempt at a leaderboard trophy. I've seen people try it, and 99.9% of the time they crash and burn. I recommend finding a cover who has at least one trophy or has experience covering for someone else who got a trophy. Also, just side note, make sure they're trustworthy because you are letting them on your account, and I don't want you to potentially get your account stolen. Another thing, solid covers will cost you financially, so be prepared to spend a pretty penny if you're looking for covers, but the more time you put in, the less you'll have to spend on a cover or two. Also, this isn't breaking the rules by any means. Almost every single leaderboard player does this because of how competitive the leaderboard has gotten. Like the video if you love Halloween, and comment the phrase MM2 Halloween if you made it this far so I know who the real ones are. Spoof out.